But the question still remains about why this termination happened. And there have been many reports about how it was related to lawsuits and so on. And, I told you yesterday, I don't buy that. I just don't buy it. I have no inside information. I have no insight. I have no sources that I'm talking to. All I have is my own BS meter that is usually pretty well honed. And I don't buy it. I don't buy it anything to do with lawsuits. I told you yesterday that to me, this happened because of who Tucker is and what he says and the stands that he takes. The fact that he's actually an effective right-wing figure and advocate, that's why he's not welcome at Fox, and that's why they got rid of him. And now there's a new report from Vanity Fair which seems to confirm this. So this is Vanity Fair. It says 24 hours after Fox News ousted its highest-rated host, the network has yet to explain one of the most shocking defenestrations in cable news history. I'm not going beyond the release of Fox News spokeswoman texted yesterday when I asked her for comment. In this information void, multiple theories about why Fox fired Carlson circulated in the media. It was fallout from the Dominion settlement. It was punishment for vulgar text messages published in Dominion court filings. It was a consequence of former Fox producer Abby Grossberg's lawsuit, which we'll talk more about that in a minute, which alleged Carlson oversaw a hostile work environment. But none of these potential reasons fully add up. Fox News anchor Maria Bartiromo hyped Dominion conspiracies far more than Carlson did, and yet she remains on the air. Fox had access to Carlson's texts and emails in the Dominion lawsuit for months, and they didn't punish him, so on and so forth. So that's why all that doesn't line up. Mystery remains, why did Fox News take its biggest star off the air? A new theory has emerged. According to the source, Fox Corporation chair Rupert Murdoch removed Carlson over remarks that Carlson made during a speech at the Heritage Foundation's 50th anniversary gala on Friday night. Carlson laced his speech with religious overtones that even Murdoch found too extreme, according to the source, who was briefed on Murdoch's decision-making. Carlson told the Heritage audience that national politics has become a battle between good and evil. Carlson said that people advocating for transgender rights and DEI programs want to destroy America, and they could not be persuaded with facts. Quote, "We should say that and stop engaging with these totally fraudulent debates. I've tried, that doesn't work." The answer, Carlson suggested, was prayer. "I've concluded that it might be worth taking just 10 minutes out of your busy schedule to say a prayer for the future, and I hope you will." That's what he said in the speech. It's a great speech, by the way. And everything that he says in the speech is 100% accurate. This is, in fact, a battle of good versus evil. This has gone well beyond any sort of debate over the facts, because we are debating with people who don't care about the facts. It's not just they don't care about the facts. They reject the concept of facts. They reject in principle the very idea that there can be a fact. Okay, these are relativists. All truth is relative. We all get our own truth, right? We all live in our own universe. We have our own truth, and we get to set the rules for our own universe according to our own, emotional and narcissistic whims. That's what they believe. That's what all this is about. And it is a spiritual battle of good versus evil. Tucker Carlson's 100% correct about that. And according to this report, that's a big reason why he got canned. Quote, "That stuff freaks Rupert out. He doesn't like all the spiritual talk," the source said. Rupert Murdoch was perhaps unnerved by Carlson's messianism because it echoed the end times worldview of Murdoch's ex-fiancée, Anne Leslie Smith, the source said. In a May cover story of Vanity Fair, Murdoch and Smith called off their 2-week engagement because Smith had told people that Carlson was a messenger from God. Murdoch had seen Carlson and Smith discuss religion firsthand, and so apparently they were at a dinner back in March, and Rupert Murdoch's then fiancée, would have been going on wife number 5, I think, was having this conversation with Tucker Carlson, where Rupert Murdoch was there, and they were talking about all these things, about how this is a spiritual battle, good versus evil. Rupert Murdoch was there. He didn't like that. Shortly after that, he dumps the fiancée, and then shortly after that, he gets rid of Tucker Carlson. That's the report anyway. This makes a lot more sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense to fire him for it, but it makes sense that Fox would. Makes more sense than anything tied to this Abby Grossberg lawsuit, which other media outlets are still claiming is one of the central reasons why he got fired. So Yahoo has this. Grossberg, formerly a senior booking producer for Fox News, began working as the head of booking for Tucker Carlson Tonight last year. She was fired by Fox News last month after filing suit against the company, claiming that she was bullied and subjected to sexist and anti-Semitic comments while working on Carlson's show. There are other reports, by the way, that she never actually met Tucker Carlson. So she was never in the same room as him, according to some reports. But in a separate lawsuit filed in Delaware, Grossberg claimed that she was coerced by the company's lawyers to give misleading answers to her deposition in the Dominion case. In the 79-page lawsuit filed in the Southern District of New York, Grossberg said that she was startled by the behavior of male colleagues when she showed up for her first day of work on Carlson's show in September. According to Grossberg, she arrived at the office to see many large and blown-up photographs of Nancy Pelosi in a plunging bathing suit, revealing her cleavage. I think we have, she also was doing the rounds on MSNBC, of course, and other media outlets talking about all her horrible experiences working for Tucker Carlson. And we have the clip of her talking about this traumatic encounter with Nancy Pelosi pictures. Let's watch that.
I was hoping that it would be more professional and what he was portraying on air was just a show. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
So when do you realize that?
Immediately. I show up first day of work, and I know that this is a popular one. It's been widely publicized. There are literally pictures like this big of Nancy Pelosi in a bathing suit in Europe, plastered all over. There was even one on my computer screen for the temporary computer I had to use, and I had to take it down just to work. Within a few days there, I was called into Justin Wells' office with Alex McCaskill, who was a senior producer as well, and asked if Maria was having an affair with Kevin McCarthy. It was just, I was shocked. I couldn't even believe it. I was floored.
That's pretty funny. Companies are strong-arming their customers to support abortion, canceling customers for their political views, and making a mockery of women by supporting transgender models. No government agency, institution, or company is allowed to just be what it is and focus on fulfilling the tasks that it was made to fulfill. A beer company can't just make beer anymore. Their primary concern is not with brewing and distributing beer, but with showing their support of the left's political and cultural agenda. But Public Square offers a new solution. Public Square is an app, and it's a website as well, where you can get connected to tens of thousands of businesses from all different industries that share your value for life, family, and freedom. Public Square also offers discounts to many high-quality businesses on the platform, so you can actually have an incentive to spend money with companies that don't hate you. Whether you're looking for new athletic clothing that knows what a woman is, a banking partner that you can count on, simply a new restaurant in your area that won't lecture you about your political views as you're trying to enjoy a meal with your family, head over to publicsq.com. That's publicsq.com. Public Square is free to join as a consumer or a business owner. You can get started at publicsq.com or download their app today. That's publicsq.com. The pro-life battle has finally left D.C. and is going to the grassroots. As one of the largest pro-life organizations in the entire world, no one is in a better position than 40 Days for Life to end abortion in a post-Roe America. With 1 million volunteers in 1,500 cities, 40 Days for Life holds peaceful vigils outside abortion facilities. Because of that, they actually have a larger presence in blue states, specifically California. Former abortion clinic directors say that these vigils can cause the abortion no-show rate to go as high as 75%, which is very detrimental to their business, which is a very good thing. These law-abiding vigils have helped close abortion facilities in San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, and many other cities as well. They're also leading the way in efforts to prevent pharmacies from dispensing chemical abortions. You can support their work and check out their locations, podcast, and free magazine at 40daysforlife.com. And it's really important that you do that, because if you think that this issue is over and it's all solved now because Roe is on the ash heap of history, you're totally wrong. The fight has never been more important. So for more information on 40 Days for Life, go to 40daysforlife.com. Look, you know what, Abby? You're the one body shaming Nancy Pelosi. So what? Maybe they think that Nancy Pelosi is a beautiful woman, and that's all. This is your assumption. So you have decided to interpret that in a negative way. Shame on you. Can you imagine if Abby Grossberg came to work for the Daily Wire and she encountered our 5-foot-tall, cigar store Indian of Elizabeth Warren? How would she? I mean, she would break down in tears immediately upon encountering that. She says that staff members frequently engaged in group discussion in which misogynistic views of women as objects to be judged solely based on their appearance were broadcasted. In these discussions, no woman, whether she was a Republican politician or a female staffer at Fox News, was safe from suddenly becoming the target of sexist, demeaning comments. In one instance cited by the paper, the lawsuit recalled a crass and sexist discussion in the newsroom before the Republican gubernatorial candidate in Michigan, Tudor Dixon, was scheduled to appear as a guest on Carlson's show. Before Dixon arrived, staffers discussed whether Miss Dixon or her opponent, Gretchen Whitmer, was hotter. That's an interesting question, and that's a debate many of us have had. I think ultimately Tudor Dixon's going to be the more attractive one. Gretchen Whitmer, in my opinion, the fact that she's so evil, it's just you can't quite, maybe it's not fair to deduct points based on that in a discussion of this sort, but the fact that she is so despicably, horrifically evil, I think it does exude out of her, and it actually affects her physically as well. But a very interesting conversation that apparently traumatized poor Abby Grossberg. And then, in another instance, McCaskill allegedly referred to a room in the office where Fox News employees could pump breast milk as a waste of space. Someone who worked for Fox said that the room for pumping breast milk was a waste of space and suggested it should be converted into a room of tanning beds for the guys to tan their testicles. If that was actually said, Abby, that's what's known as, we actually have a word for that. It's called a joke. So someone was making a joke is what they were doing, if that was even said at all. But she also accuses the Tucker team of saying and doing a lot of things that don't pass the smell test at all. So let's watch one more clip here.
When I got to Tucker, it was different. And as a text that came out revealed my suspicions, he was looking for ratings bait, purely, and was also looking for power. It was a combination of ratings and power and manipulating the audience. And manipulating also the political system. There was an aspect of, I can pick who the House Speaker is. I can pick who the President of the United States is, or who the Republican candidate's going to be. And I thought that was really dangerous and didn't want that kind of power. I didn't want to have Senate candidates calling me and being very upset. Are you going to destroy our whole campaign tonight? Because he could do that. And he would call and tell them that if you don't participate or you don't come on the show, we will destroy you. And I was told to tell that to congressmen sometimes, and I didn't. How can I? That was disrespectful. So in addition to the misogyny and the sexism and the anti-Semitism, there was also just this sort of moral growth with me where I reached a breaking point because of all of those things. And I literally did not want to do it anymore. It felt disgusting. I stopped watching news when I came home. I didn't watch anything. I just didn't want to because I was so depressed and disillusioned by the entire media system because of Tucker Carlson.
Oh, my moral growth. The only mistake that the Tucker team made, and it's not like this is Tucker Carlson himself. He's not overseeing every aspect. That's not the way it works. But, the only mistake, obviously, is hiring this woman. But, of course, it's not always easy to sniff these kinds of people out. The kind of person who's going to see, a joking picture of Nancy Pelosi, if it's even true that the picture is posted, but see a picture like that and be offended, just get over yourself. My God, how do you function in life? Oh, it's my moral growth. And my moral growth, right? My moral growth was that I could work there and take the paychecks in, then I get fired, and only then do I turn, I get fired, and then I turn around and try to profit to the tune of however many millions she's suing for. That's all part of the moral growth. Suing for millions because you were offended by alleged jokes, right? That's a sign of moral growth. I will say, though, that I am, there is one revelation from this that really disappoints me, as much of a fan of Tucker Carlson as I am. When she said that Tucker Carlson was interested in ratings, good Lord, I am so disappointed that he wanted to get ratings for his show. That is unacceptable. And surely Tucker Carlson, the only figure in all of media that's concerned about ratings. Everyone, it doesn't come up, and I've worked in media. I can tell you right now, I've never even encountered a conversation like this. No one talks about it. Performance, ratings, downloads, advertising dollars. We never discuss it. In fact, if I'm on occasion, someone's about to, maybe I'm in a meeting, someone broaches the conversation. Well, let's look at the numbers. Nope, we're not talking about this. Doesn't matter. How dare you? Get out of the room. I say to Jeremy Boring. That's what happens so Tucker Carlson, the only figure in all of media who cares about ratings. And so that is a scandal, but all the rest of it, not so much. And the claim that she, as a booking producer, was told to call up congressmen and say, come on the show or we'll destroy you. That also didn't happen. That's not the way it works. And this is why, listen, I don't know the percentages, but it is my suspicion that the vast majority of hostile work environment claims are really they are used as cover by losers who couldn't hack it. That's most of it. Because if something illegal or actually unethical happened, then say what it was. Just name it. Give actual examples of that. But when we get these kind of broad, it's a hostile work environment. No, you're just a loser and you couldn't hack it. You couldn't do it. It's a high pressure environment. You're working with a lot of high performance people, and there's a lot of egos around. That's just the way it is in the media business. That's what it is at high levels in any industry. That's how it is. And she couldn't deal with it. She couldn't do it. She couldn't keep up with the pressure. And so she washed out. Now she's filing a lawsuit. That is my interpretation. That is my theory, personally, about this. Now I'll do it for this portion of the show. Let's move over to the members block. You can become a member today by using code Walsh at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans. Hope to see you there. If not, talk to you tomorrow. Godspeed.